This is David with the Paranormal Sessions podcast. I really screwed up when I talked about the last video where the man had the suit and he was inside the yellowish white light, and he turned around and looked at me, and then he looked down and you could see like this town or something. And so I thought he would just show me that he's watching over people. What I didn't factor in until I found out yesterday that he was actually trying to warn me, because when I got up yesterday morning, everything felt really heavy, like there's like a lot of bad vibes in the whole house. And I could pick up that immediately. Now, that hasn't happened for quite a while, so I'm sure what evil does is they just let everything, keep everything normal. And then I start getting complacent, which of course I did. And so I'm in the kitchen, then I'm walking out to the family room, and then I see a white flash, which of course is, an angel. And then it dawned on me that nothing's been happening because they were ready to do something. And so the man in the yellowish white light, who I thought was just saying, look at me that I'm checking down on these, these towns or whatever. He was actually trying to tell me that I need to watch out, something's going to happen. And of course, I still didn't look at it that way until yesterday when I saw the white flash in the family room. So I knew I got that totally wrong, and I have to do better, because when things don't happen for quite a while, that just doesn't happen unless they're letting me get complacent, which of course I did, and they were ready to do something. And so that angel, who I assume it was an angel in that yellowish white light, he was telling me that something's got to happen. That's why I'm looking down. And now that I think about it, he was probably looking down. I don't know if it was directly at my house or in that area, but I still didn't, grasp it until I walked out. I'm starting to walk out into the family room, and I see the white flash, and I thought, well, I really screwed that up. I thought, oh, everything's fine. I don't need to worry about anything. And he was trying to warn me, and it still didn't sink in until I saw the white flash from, the Holy Spirit or an angel. Then it finally dawned on me, that's why it's, everything's been so quiet. Not much has been happening, because they were ready to do something. And I just have to be better that, when things don't go on, nothing happens major for, weeks or maybe a month, then I know I should, realize by now that something's going to happen. They're not just going to leave me alone. So I really screwed that one up. And then it got me thinking, after I realized I kind of blew that, that last video, that I don't know if I'm going to do it this week, but the whole point of this whole podcast is to prove to people that there's a heaven and a hell. And the only way to really see proof is I'm going to start using a night vision camera and film in my bedroom. Now, it doesn't mean, the first video, whatever, you're going to see all these spirits going by. But I'm sure over time, you're going to catch some things. Of course, I'm going to be, talking to you, telling you what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to be looking around. But I can't see where eventually they're going to move in the bedroom, because that's where 99% of the activity is, in that bedroom. And I'm also going to finally start releasing some pictures. I know I've mentioned this many times before. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video saying, this is what this is what, how you need to look at the picture, from what I've seen. And then I'll post it the following day. So that way you just have the picture, you can focus solely on that. Because I've seen others where they talk a lot, and then, by the time you get to the picture, you're thinking about what they told you, and then you're trying to, see how it applies to that picture. So I'm just going to give you, every time I'm ready to release a picture, it's probably going to happen every couple of weeks or something, but I'll tell you what it is, and then I'll show the picture the next day. And that's my fault. I should have done that a long time ago. But I am going to go ahead, and I don't think I'll do it this week, but next week I'll start setting up a night vision camera, and I'll do one video. And of course, it's going to be a little bit harder to see me because it's a night vision, but it's more important for you to see what might be behind me or what's going by. And in fact, you might see a little bit of the white light on the ceiling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put like tape over, like, you know, because I got a TV up on the wall. I'm going to cover that up so there's no light. So I want to eliminate any possibility of light. So if you do see a white light on the ceiling, you know, it's got to be from the Holy Spirit, because you're not going to see any light coming from anywhere. So like I said, that might not happen for about a week or two, but I can't believe I really blew that video when that angel's telling me I'm looking down, and I'm too arrogant to think, oh, you know, he's showing me, you know, this is what he's doing. I didn't bother to take into account nothing's been happening for like the last month or so. And it never does work like that. They're always scheming to do something, but, you know, they let me get complacent, which is all on me. But now I'm going to, you know, keep it posted that, you know, like if it's been a whole month and nothing's going on, that means something's going to be happening soon. And it didn't even sink in, like I said, until I saw the Holy Spirit. You know, I mean, well, the white flash of the angel or Holy Spirit. But I really blew that one. So, but I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll release a pic probably sometime next week. And like I said, I'm going to do a short video, like 1 minute or so, because it's not that, you know, it doesn't need to be that complicated. I'll just tell you what the pic is about, and then you can see the picture. So I appreciate everyone watching. Thanks.